Hi, I'm Jenny Braswell. I'm the grant coordinator here at Nash Community College. And I'm really excited to be able to share with y'all today a new project that we have going on campus. It's called the Live Well and Learn Trail. It'll be open to the public in the fall. And today I want to show you a little bit of what's going to be on this trail. So come on, let's take a look and see how the project's going. Okay, so this is a small section of the trail. As you can see, it's beautiful, it's wooded, it's shaded. By fall, it'll wind through about 2.5 miles of campus on the wooded area that we just acquired in the last couple of decades. We'll have stations set along the line so that you can scan with your phone a code and it'll tell you about the rare trees or the natural botany of the area or a little history of what it used to be like to live in eastern North Carolina. There's also birds and all kinds of nature aspects that you can share with your family, with your kids, or with each other. Like this. All right, so here we are at the showpiece of our trail. And this is an old tobacco barn that was found when we were clearing land to expand our fire and rescue training field. We knew that there were tobacco barns back here on this land that had originally been purchased by Dr. Parrott and his board of trustees in the 90s, and then another few acres added on several years ago. The problem was that we couldn't find the tobacco barns. So it worked out that when they were clearing this land, they got to this part, which was the border of where we wanted to end, and found this barn. This barn is still under construction, is still being renovated, so it doesn't look like a whole lot now. But by the time this trail is open and this project is finished, we will have a station here that you can scan with your phone or your tablet and learn about the history of tobacco barn in eastern North Carolina. So let's take a walk around real quick and I'll show you some of the things that we're working on restoring and give you a little bit of the history that you're going to learn. Now, this type of barn is called a flue-cured barn. And the bright leaf tobacco was really pioneered in eastern North Carolina, but particularly because of this type of barn right here. And as of today, there are about 50,000 maybe still left across the state. In my grandparents' day, there were just lines and lines and lines of them across the field, and we're losing them every day. So that's another reason we're excited about this project. This here is where the flue would have gone into the barn. And the tobacco would actually be smoked, and it would reach about 180 degrees inside of this barn. So all the siding and all of the mortar and the concrete were designed to try to hold that heat in so it could reach that 180 degrees. And then the tobacco stayed in the barns for 6 days to achieve the trademark yellow color before it was brought out and sent to market. So all this has been replaced. This is still under progress. And then around here, you can see where some of the pieces of the roof fell off, and we've had to replace some of that, and we've had to redo some of the doors. So I want to take you inside the barn and show you what the tier poles look like and see what the whole environment was so you can get a feel for what it was like to work in the tobacco barn back in the 50s. All right, so this door here, we're going to replace the original door because it was falling apart. And in here, there was a huge hole up in the ceiling at the time that we found it, and then there were some holes along the sides as well. Also, these are called tier poles, and you see they go all the way up, and then when we're done there will also be a middle set of tier poles as well. And here you can see the cutouts where these tier poles were actually cut to fit right into the holes. So we'll have to replace those in the middle. A lot of those were broken. When this was actually used for farming, you would have had people bringing the tobacco in from the field, and then they would bring it under a shelter, which is going to be added on to this before it opens, and they would loop the tobacco onto tobacco sticks. There would be 3 tobacco sticks to a bunch, about 30 bunches on a stick. And then somebody would be in the barn actually climbing and straddling these poles. And workers from below would pass up the poles, and the people would hang them and work down. So this is the part that Dr. Carver did when he was young, was actually hanging the tobacco from these tier poles all the way down. Then once they were done, they would seal them up and light it up and fire it for 180 days. Because projects like this take money, especially if you want to preserve the historical accuracy and be true to the history of the building, Nash Community College has been very fortunate to have the support of the DeLeon Carter Foundation in this project, as well as in the entire community trail, because they share with us our commitment to the community and to our heritage. We have a lot of new things going on campus right now. We have new buildings going up. We're expanding our field, which is how we found this barn. And we love to have the community engaged in that and look forward to having you in the trail, because this to us is a reminder that even during times of the most significant progress, that is when we can rediscover and really cherish pieces of our history.